morning, everyone. Let me pull the music down just a little bit. It's probably pretty wild still, right? What's up, everybody? How we doing? How we doing? We are here to talk about, yes, some MCU stuff. A little bit of news happened last night. I don't know if you guys are aware. Pretty wild stuff. And yeah, if you're from the old gaming channel, I saw some people asking about FGO content and stuff like that. The gaming channel is going to be relaunched, but this channel has changed into the Den of Nerds Live, where we will be doing a lot of live streams and different things like that. Okay, so that's what's going on in there. But hey, I want to know how everybody's doing. How's everybody doing in the chat? How are we doing? And I am not Justin. Even though Justin and I look very similar, I am actually not Justin. So, what do you guys think about this Scott Derkison news? If you're coming in, I want to know what you think. Because right now, it does appear that most people are in two camps with this. They are either in Camp Kevin Feige or Camp Scott Derkison. That's really what it seems to be right now. It seems to be kind of split into those two camps. Some people think it's really good. Some people think it is terrible. Yo, what's up, Ken? What is up, my brother? Wait just a second to see if a couple more people pop on in. I know it's like the new channel, right? The live streaming channel. It's going to take people a little bit to get used to it. But man, are we going to be doing some cool stuff over here. I'm telling you. I am telling you, we will be doing some really sweet stuff. But yeah, let me know in chat. What do you think? Are you team Feige or are you team Derkison? What do you think's happening? Are we totally screwed here? Or are we gonna be okay, guys? I tend to be pretty optimistic about this stuff, but I won't lie to you. There were some people that I talked to in the Den of Nerds crew and all that were not as positive on this thing. A lot of people were pretty upset, scared. I don't know what the right word is, but a lot of people have feelings, very strong feelings. But you know what? Maybe it's time. Maybe we should just get into it, guys. What do you think? Should we just get into it? I think we're going to have some fun here. Because this is, of course, some pretty crazy news. Yeah. This guy, am I right? This freaking guy, right? So here's the deal, guys. It was announced last night that Scott Derkison walked away as the director of Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness, okay? And depending on where you stand, this is either like absolutely terrible news or business as usual for the MCU. And right off the bat, I'll just tell you that my gut is telling me, and I spoke to a lot of people that seem to share this belief, my gut is telling me that the reason this happened is because Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness is like Avengers 4.5. I think that it's an incredibly important film for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think they're going to put a bunch of different people into that film. You know what I mean? Like, we've heard all sorts of crazy stuff. We've heard about the different versions of the characters that we've seen before. We've heard a lot of different things when it comes to what they want to do. Loki might be in it. They're opening up the multiverse, all of these different things. And so I believe that what was happening was that Scott was in a position where it was really starting to become a thing where he felt like his creative control was getting strangled and that his vision for the film wouldn't even really come out in the final product, right? Now, this is apparently something he had been struggling with for some time. And there's a couple of different layers to the story that are very interesting, okay? So here, I want to show you guys I want to show you some stuff over here, okay? Let me just give me 1 second here. This new setup's going to take me a second to be used to it. Oh, what the heck? Huh? I can't even move it there, huh? Well, that's not good. That's not good. Okay, so I'll just have to read it for myself and then tell you guys. We'll figure this out a little bit later. But there's some really interesting things. Scott was tweeting. This is something that Ken brought up to me. Scott was tweeting a little bit about this. And here's a list of a few tweets right here that he has made over the past couple of weeks. Okay? So, December 16th, he says, studio release dates are the enemy of art. Whoa! Whoa, that's kind of spicy. Now, what could he be referring to? I mean, could he be referring to the Star Wars? Maybe. Could he be referring to his own experiences in his own movie? Maybe. It's kind of seeming a little bit more like he was probably doing that. Studio release dates are the enemy of art. Now, this kind of made me think of something that Jeremy Conrad said online, where he literally said that all of the Phase 4 movies will be shot by the end of this year. Like, everything that's in Phase 4 will be shot and being worked on by the end of this year, right? They literally are wrapping up Eternals right now. Shang-Chi's going right now. Doctor Strange was going to move pretty quickly into production. I still think it will move very quickly into production. Next up, on December 19th, Scott Derkison says, most major life choices come with major regrets. It's unavoidable. But the worst choice is not choosing at all. Hell is sitting down at the crossroads. Now, what the heck does that mean? Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's him literally saying that he is thinking about walking away. That at this point he is thinking about walking away. And, you know, we'll get into a little bit more of that. But here's another one. This one's really interesting. On Christmas Day, and depending on where you stand, this will make you even more angry, or you'll throw up in your mouth a little bit like I did. So, Scott says, on Christmas, thank you, Rian Johnson, has been trending just 2 days after he took time out of his vacation to talk with me at length about a personal decision I'm dealing with. An astonishingly good filmmaker, but also an incredibly gracious and evasive human being. Invisive? I don't even know what that word means. Truly grateful for him. Okay. What is that about, right? Homie literally talks to Rian Johnson. He's literally had met with Rian Johnson and talked about a major situation that he's dealing with, and then just speaking really highly of Rian, okay? So what that indicates to me is that there was likely creative differences, or really, it's really what it is, guys, is it's the fact that Feige is really the one making these movies. Like, that's really what it comes down to. Like, we know that when Marvel movies are shot, there's already action set pieces put into place, that they already have directors that are working on those scenes, and there are literal, like, cornerstones that you have to hit in each film and that will be provided for you. I've heard it described as, like, paint-by-numbers directing that is, like, the easiest directing that you can possibly do. Okay? Now, frankly, it appears that that's what happened, that there's this plan to sort of Avengers 4.5 Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness, and Scott simply wasn't down for that. Okay? So, what do I think about this? Who do I blame? What do I think is going to happen? Is the film going to be majorly hurt? I don't really think that the film's going to be majorly hurt, okay? So, first of all, he's still going to remain as executive producer, okay? Now, what that tells me is that he was heavily involved with a lot of things in pre-production leading up to the shooting of the film, which they were going to do. Okay, so he added a lot of ideas. He was there probably collaborating with Feige and all of this stuff. Now, things change in this industry, and they change quickly. And I believe, this is just my gut, I believe that at San Diego Comic-Con, when Feige came out and said, we're going to make the first scary MCU film, and Scott was really excited about that, and that was something that was making headlines, it was making buzz. The reality of that situation is not that they were actually on the same page about that, because there's actually an interview that Feige did, and actually Bill, executive producer Bill, sent me this earlier today. We were chatting about it. Let me see if I can find it here. It was during a New York Film Academy talk. You guys probably saw this, right? It kind of popped up. He made this big quote. And here's the quote right here. This is what he said. Multiverse of Madness, Feige, by the way, this is Kevin Feige speaking. Multiverse of Madness is the greatest title we've ever come up with, by the way, which is one thing that's exciting about it, Feige said at the New York Film Academy. I wouldn't necessarily say that's a horror film, but it'll be a big MCU fan with scary sequences in it. I mean, there are horrifying sequences in Raiders of the Lost Ark that I, as a kid, would cover my eyes and the faces melted and things like that. Or Temple of Doom, of course, or Gremlins, or Poltergeist. These are the movies that invented the PG-13 rating, by the way. They were PG, and then they were like, no, we need another rating. But that's fun. It's fun to be scared in that way, and not a horrific, torturous way, but a way that is legitimately scary, because Scott Derkison is quite good at that, but scary in the service of an exhilarating emotion. Okay. What that seems like to me is that Feige's like, oh, yeah, no, we're going to make it real scary between the Avengers 4.5 stuff that we have going on. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of people brought up Age of Ultron. This is a similar situation to Age of Ultron. Now, I fall on this differently than I think a lot of people. I think a lot of other people are like, okay, this isn't a good look. And by the way, it's not a good look. There's no way you can paint this as a good look. And it will be interesting to see what kind of a director they bring in now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who are they going to bring in? Do they bring in someone creative and then at the risk of more conflict? Because now it's not just that it's going to be Avengers 4.5, but it's like it's Scott Derrickson's produced Doctor Strange 2 that Marvel's going to turn into this kind of event film. So now, as a director, who would want to take that job, right? Like, who would want to come in and basically just be a placeholder and sort of take, Scott's vision and then be the person that gets credit for really bringing Feige's vision to the screen? So, who knows? But for me personally, I do think that the Multiverse of Madness is this important of a film. We've talked a lot about how there's no Avengers movie. There's nothing like that in Phase 4. Phase 4 runs the risk of being kind of lame. You know what I mean? Like from the fan perspective. I mean, I'm excited for the Black Widow movie, but I don't think everybody is. Eternals, a property nobody knows anything about, but it's going to be dope. Promise you. It's going to be cool. But there's no real event film. And I think that this is it. And what's crazy is, to Scott, I believe that what was going on was like he didn't think he was directing an Avengers movie. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't necessarily sign up for that. I think he wanted to get deeper with the character, do some horror stuff, do some really interesting stuff with Doctor Strange. So, yeah, he's in a tough spot. But for me personally, I way more value what Doctor Strange 2 could be and should be for the MCU than I personally care about, like, Scott Derrickson's vision. That's just me. And personally here, I like the first Doctor Strange movie. I do. But it is so vanilla for what I think it could be, for what I think Doctor Strange could be. So I'm not as bummed. You know what I mean? Like, really and truly, I'm quite simply not as bummed as I think a lot of people are out there. The thing with Rian Johnson's really interesting. You know what I mean? It's really interesting that he would sit down with Ryan Johnson to talk about this. You know what I mean? And what kind of advice could Ryan give him? Because it kind of seems like almost the opposite, right? Where like with the problem with Ryan and the problem with The Last Jedi is that they gave this homie carte blanche. They let him do whatever he wanted to do. You know what I mean? And we got The Last Jedi, you know, very divisive film. It seriously divided fan bases, and it's likely, in my opinion here, that Ryan will probably never do anything in Star Wars again. He could maybe eventually do some stuff down the line, but I don't think he's going to be doing any Star Wars anytime soon. And so I really wanted to be a fly on the wall of that conversation between Scott and Ryan Johnson. That would be pretty interesting to me. You know what I mean? Like I certainly want to know what that would have been like. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much the news. That's what everybody's freaking out about. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You guys tell me. You guys tell me in the chat. And if you have some questions or some concerns, let me know. I'll probably just go for like, I don't know, 15, 20 more minutes here. I wanted to live stream about it. I know it's on the live channel, so not everybody can even see this video. But if you're watching this live or if you're watching this on the replay, you let me know and let me know your thoughts about it. As I talk to many of the executive producers, I think that I am sort of an outlier when it comes to this because a lot of people are very concerned about what Feige's doing. Do you know what I mean? I know a lot of people get worried about Phase 4 and what Phase 4 could be, but I'm just frankly not that worried. Let's see here. What Ken said, I really hope they don't back away too much from the scary aspect. I love the idea of different genres in the MCU, like a horror MCU film, a romance, espionage, thriller, drama, etc. Yeah, I definitely agree. Ken, and I think that would be dope. But also, man, like, I just think that, to me, the precedence and the importance of nailing Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness, particularly if what I think is happening, and I'm pretty confident that it is, this all has to do with what they will eventually set up with, like, Secret Wars, the multiverse, things that are very big moving forward. This film has to accomplish a lot. Do you know what I mean? And so, as much as I do think it would be cool to have Scott's, like, honestly, the best scenario here, and this kind of sucks, but the bbest scenario here would be, like, if Scott would have just played ball. You know what I mean? If Scott would have just played ball and then been like, okay, but then I need an intimate film after this, or I need to hang out with Strange more specifically and do this really scary thing later. You know, that would have been a good compromise. But, like, what do we always say, guys? What do we always say? Feige doesn't play nice with others, man. He doesn't play nice with others. But how can you fault what's going on? It's not even questionable to me that we've got this incredible thing when it comes to the MCU, and that Doctor Strange's importance for the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is really what should be prioritized. You know what I mean? I think that's really, to me, more important. It's more important than getting that intimate film out there. You know what I mean? Than getting that horror movie. But I do acknowledge that maybe I'm in the minority when it comes to that. Let's see here. Let us see here. Man, I'm loving this new setup, like the new live streaming thing, but I got to tell you, it's weird, and it's going to take me a little bit of time to fine-tune it. Next week, we're going to be going live 5 days a week at 9 a.m. for morning streams, 5 days a week. But, man, there'll be some growing pains. There will be some growing pains. Yeah, interesting that live from the doctor's office, whoop, whoop. It's interesting how Ryan Johnson, of all people, got inserted into this. Yeah, when I read that, like, I literally was like, oh, my God, is there a controversy that this man's not involved with? And like the joking part of me was like thinking of that conversation, right? And being like, well, I'm just thinking of like Ryan's advice. He's like, well, you got to think about your own thing. And this big IP and everything is great. But like, what if you destroyed it? What if you took a legacy character and that everybody thought was amazing and that you made him drink the titty milk? Feige's not going to let you do that. Doctor Strange isn't going to drink the titty milk. And here's the thing, too. Here's another thing. I say all the time that there's no way Kevin Feige would have had Kevin Feige been the president of Lucasfilm, there's no way he would have let Rian Johnson make the film that he made. And some people are like, oh, well, I love The Last Jedi. It's a great film. I agree. Like, it's a beautiful movie. It's a really well-made film. But when you're talking about big-time IP, built-in fan bases, large histories, I don't think that's you just don't make a movie like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you do. I think you do micromanage it. I think you do sort of restrict creative voices. Like, this is bigger than just a story being told. This is an avant-garde filmmaking. When you sign up to do a Marvel movie, when you sign up to do a Disney film, you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know what they're doing. They know what they're signing up for. So, to me, weird. Like, weird to sign up for it, to think, that you know what's going to be happening, and then decide that your creative vision is being compromised and that you want to die on that hill. I don't know. To me, that's honestly kind of where I'm at with it. That's kind of what I think's going on. Let's see here. I wanted a scary Doctor Strange 2. Yeah. Well, hopefully it'll still be scary. Hopefully there'll still be some really scary things in it. But here's the thing. The Doctor Strange 1, to me, even though it's great and visually stunning, it was so vanilla for what I think of when I think of Doctor Strange. You know what I mean? This is just my thing. When I think of Doctor Strange, I thought they could have gone way crazier with dark stuff, with demons and stuff like that. So more of the occult, more horror elements ingested in, or injected in. I think that would be dope. Really, I do. But to think that Scott Derkison, I don't know, man. To me, I'm just to me, honestly, not that big of a loss. Not that big of a loss. He's a great director. He really is. But I don't really think that he nailed Doctor Strange 1 to the degree that I was like, oh, I need to see this man's vision for the next film. Nope. Not for me. Early AF. Yeah, it's going to be a really early stream. I think of it as like a morning radio show. You know what I mean? Like, for the people on the East Coast, it won't be ridiculous. But for people on the West Coast, they'll be like, what the hell? But of course, you can watch it later in the day. I wonder how many crossover characters we get in Doctor Strange. I'm starting to think a lot will be in this film. Yeah, I agree. Well, we already know there's going to be a lot, right? So think about this. We already know that Doctor Strange 2 really is heavily involved with Wanda. Big part of it, right? We also have heard that Wiccan and Speed are also going to play a part in this movie. We've also heard Monica Rambeau might show up in this film. There's also rumors that Loki might show up in this film. There's also rumors that there might be the Illuminati showing up in this film. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a crowded freaking movie. It's a crowded movie. If they are able to pull off a Civil War type team-up movie, setup movie, then it'll be amazing. I worry about an Age of Ultron feel. Here, let me address this, Bill, because, yeah, Bill and I talked a little bit about this earlier in the day. I think that he's right to be concerned. I think when it comes to Age of Ultron, a lot of people look down at that film. You know what I mean? I think it particularly in the wake of Avengers 1. But I got to tell you this. I think Age of Ultron has actually aged like fine wine. I think Age of Ultron is actually way better way better than you remember it. And I would urge you, if you haven't seen it in a long time, you should check it out. You should go check it out because it's freaking dope. I think, too, even if you look at some of the comments that Joss Whedon has made, he'll be the first to tell you that he was really hard on himself and that film. But as he's, went back to it later in life, he's like, you know what? It's a decent film. I think that movie's pretty dark. I think the visions and the stuff they're trying to set up with Thanos is really important to what happens later. And I didn't really think that film really definitely not as bad as people think. Definitely not. But I will tell you this, that we've gotten way better now, right? They're just way better at doing everything that they do. And I think the perfect example of, like, how do you do something really creative and hit your marks? Because honestly, if the conversation is it's impossible to have great creative voices work within the Marvel system, I just disagree. I simply disagree. Because look at Thor Ragnarok. Think about what that film sets up and think about how creatively it is its own thing. You know what I mean? Even Infinity War and Endgame, that are massive movies, that are just big, huge, so many characters, so much stuff going on, they have their own creative voice. You know what I mean? I think the Russo brothers are brilliant at doing this. Civil War is a great example. Civil War is really good. You know what I mean? It's really well done, but it's done through the perspective of Cap. It's a Cap movie. I think that's what we're getting in Doctor Strange 2: The Multiverse of Madness. We are going to be getting a story from the perspective of Stephen Strange that encapsulates so much stuff for the MCU. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be really cool. New title, Doctor Strange, Avengers 4.5. Yeah, 100%. That is what it is, though. I think. Let's see here. Star Wars Santa says, I see a big difference between scary, like described in Indiana Jones, and horror. Don't know that a Marvel hero horror movie would be a good medium for a true horror movie. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I don't think Feige ever meant that. Like, he said the first scary movie. I think Scott Derkison was the one that was saying horror. You know what I mean? So different perspectives on that. You can be creative, but I assume there are restrictions within the sandbox. 100%. 100% there are restrictions within that sandbox, man. Especially at a pivotal moment like this. You know? I don't know. There is a dark side to what is going on with the MCU. That is for sure. But the one thing that you just can't deny is that it works. Like, it just works. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I do want to know, guys, I've got sort of something kind of off topic. And I'm wondering if you guys would be open to me giving you a hot take about Warner Brothers. Because I am not feeling Warner Brothers right now. Not feeling them. They very much upset me. Prepare for the new MCU content to come out every month. Cue the hot take wipe. I know, right? When I just did this one, it didn't actually work. I was trying to do the craziest news of the day wipe, and that didn't even work. Yeah, as a DC fan, you have no idea what they're doing. Yeah, I'm with you there. Okay, let's just do it. Here's what we'll do. We'll rant a little bit. We'll just have fun. I'll rant a little bit about frickin' Warner Brothers, and then we'll call it. And I'm gonna start working on some videos for the main channel. So, when it comes to Warner Brothers and some of the things they've announced recently I think it's really, really stupid. Like, real dumb. And it just shows they have no idea what they're doing. It's a hot day. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Ooh. So here's the thing I want to say. Here's what I want to say. It was recently announced that Warner Brothers is going to have an algorithm or a machine decide to green light their films, which sounds really crazy. But then when you think about how they've had nothing but idiots greenlighting their movies for years, maybe it's better that they have the AI, honest to God. Maybe it's better that they have the machine. And you know, yesterday, the trailer came out for The Birds of Prey, which, by the way, looks like total ass. It looks like a goobly glob of a film. A goobly glob of a film. I have no idea why they greenlit this movie. Literally. Would the robot have greenlit this movie? I don't know. But regarding that trailer, I did a trailer reaction. I wanted to do a little trailer reaction, right? Immediately, the trailer reaction is copyright claimed by Warner Brothers. And here's the thing. When you get copyright claimed by Warner Brothers, it hurts how big the video can be. And I knew this was going to happen. I knew as soon as I did this stupid trailer reaction that they would copyright claim it. It would hurt it would make $0 go out to like nobody. Many of you probably didn't even know that I did the reaction yesterday. And to me, I saw all these other YouTubers too saying the same thing where they knew they were going to get dinged. They get dinged. They can't even make money off of it. The views for the thing get hurt. And I'm just like, look, how stupid are you, Warner Brothers? Like, how dumb are you? Even Star Wars, who, if any brand out there had an incentive to copyright claim and shut down things on the internet, even Star Wars doesn't aggressively go after people that do trailer reactions and things like that. Because Disney understands that the more this stuff is, it's called earned media. Earned media. They don't pay me to talk about it, but I talk about it because it's awesome and popular and other people want to hear about it. And so it creates this thing called earned media. And Warner Brothers would literally rather strike down anybody that wants to talk about their stuff and eliminate all of the earned media, even if it's bad. It's so mind-blowingly dumb to me. And I just think that, you know, when you hear about these robots taking over, it's like, okay, well, maybe the robots will literally be smarter. And to be honest with you, this is not a unique experience. As much as I am afraid that the robots are going to come for us all and take all of our jobs and destroy us, every time I have to encounter another human being that is terrible at what they do, I'm like, screw them. Get them out of here. Get the robots in here. Get them out of here. Get them out of my face. Literally. I don't care. Oh, they'll starve? I'm sorry. I don't care. Get the robots in here. The robots are smarter. They're better. They're more polite. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about. You go out to supermarkets and places right now, and sometimes, I shit you not, the cashier will be, like, on their cell phone. Like, on their cell phone, doing a you know, like, and then they're like, they act like you coming up to the counter is a huge inconvenience of whatever they're doing. I think that in some ways, man, we are lost. And Warner Brothers is damn sure lost. They have no idea what they're doing. No idea. Like, it amazes me. But yeah, that's my hot take on Warner Brothers is like the robot, which is a ridiculous idea, is probably way better than the fools that they've had on that shit for the past ever. That's what I think, man. That's what I think. Because it's really frustrating as a person out there that's trying to do content, and all the DC fans, they always rib me and they get down on they're you know, they get upset and stuff. They're like, hey, why Why not more DC content, Josh? Why not talk more about the DCs? It's ridiculous. But yeah, if you guys could do me a favor and chop the like on this stream, it would be much appreciated. We are trying to get... Is this stream really unlisted? Oh my good God. How is this even possible? But yeah, if you could chop like on this stream, that would be awesome. It should be. It says it's public over here. It should be public, right? It's public. But yeah, if you could chop like, we're trying to build up the brand over here, right? The streaming, because we're definitely going to be doing a lot of streaming in 2020 over here. It is. Is it unlisted? How is it unlisted? YouTube, you're killing me. YouTube, you are absolutely killing me. What is that? How's that even happen? How? Like, honestly, I have no idea. Hey, look, there's some new stuff popping up about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Thankful for the collaboration. Huh. Yeah, nothing new. Nothing new. Just the same old. Dylan. This is why I am honk. Eventually, AT&T will sell DC because Warner Brothers is going to cost them so much that they have. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the love. Let's see. What did Ken say? The thing is, you need data to train the AI on. So if they train the AI on data from their past decisions, this is going to be ass. Yeah, for sure. But you can actually get AIs that are already programmed, and there's a lot of like really interesting things going on with AI. And look, Netflix already, to be fair to Warner Brothers, Netflix already makes a lot of their decisions based on AI, as far as green lighting and stuff like that. And you know, this gets into one of those weird things where, yeah, there is an argument to be made that you know, human creativity gets stifled when a lot of these things happen. But at the same time, it's like, no, this is the thing that always like causes me crazy or drives me crazy. It's like you do have that option. You have the ability to go out and make whatever creative project you want. Nobody is stopping you. The thing is, when you sign up to Marvel, DC, Disney, Star Wars, or whatever, you are playing in a billion-dollar playground. You know what I mean? Like, you have to respect that. And you have to understand that this is not going to be the place where you get creative control, where you get carte blanche to do what you need to do. Guys, I need your help. Is this really an unlisted stream? Or is YouTube being ridiculous and telling me that this is unlisted? Because I'm like super confused by this. I really am. I don't understand. Because if it's really just coming in from... Ugh. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Hopefully, it's not broken, because I would need to figure this out. Saw it listed? Okay. I saw it when I came to the channel. It's on the page. Okay, cool. You got the notification? Excellent. Brian! Oh my God, Brian, I'm so glad that you're in here. I have to call you later, man. We got to talk. Okay, cool. Okay, looks like it's working. Excellent. Cool, guys. Well, I'll probably end the stream now, and I'm going to go work on sort of a more concise video for the Scott Derkison thing. You know, kind of talking about what I was talking about here. I really believe that it's basically Avengers 4.5. That's why the creative differences happened. You know, am I concerned? Yeah, a little bit, but not as concerned as I think a lot of people are out there. it's going to be gravy. You know what I mean? Like how can it's freaking Feige, guys. You know what I mean? Like, until there's actual proof in the pudding that his meddling and that his, ironclad thing is bad for business, we can't really blame him for these types of decisions. You know what I mean? Like, until a movie comes out where you're like, oh my goodness, like this was really rocky. And like, you can look at some in the past for sure. Like, people bring up Age of Ultron. I think a really good one is like Thor 2, Dark World. That was kind of messy. But the thing is, frankly, the MCU has had a lot of ebbs and flows, a lot of mistakes. And they learned kind of early on, towards the end of phase 2, what not to do. And, I was talking to people about this too, where I said, I don't think we're ever going to get just a personal, singular journey film within Marvel anymore. Because I don't think that's frankly what audiences want to see. I think audiences want to see the big bombastic crossover things, the really electric and big things out there. That's what I think Marvel wants. That's what I think Marvel fans want to see. So again, I'm not that upset. You know what I mean? But I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Make sure you're subscribed to the Den of Nerds Live, because holy crap, in 2020, we're doing so many live streams. It's going to be awesome. So make sure you smash the like and you hit that subscribe. And I'm going to get out of here, guys. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next